Dodgers top stack. Hmm.
as they should be.
I don't. I don't know about that.
They're fourth for me.
I think John Gray's going to get him. Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? We're live. Welcome to the Awesemo.com live before lock show, where we'll be discussing the day's loaded MLB slate. We got 14 games, a lot of middling pitchers involved in that process. I'm Chris Spags, joined by my pal, the Chubster, Josh Engelman. Josh, how are you feeling on this fine Friday?
I'm ready for it to be over, but it's been a good day. I've been productive. There's days where I record 4 separate things. I really just my brain melts, and that's one of those days today. So, but I feel good. I got all my stuff updated now. We do have a couple more lineups to go, but I feel at least mildly prepared. So that's the best that I could do.
Yeah, I do feel like the NFL took a lot of the real estate in my brain that would have gone MLB today, so I'm digging from behind. But we're going to persevere. We're going to do it. Also, we did release a video, Josh and I, breaking down the whole tight end space for the NFL this year. Came out a couple of hours ago. It's up on YouTube right now. There's also a companion article on the homepage of Awesemo.com. So go check that out. It's Chapter 5 in our NFL preview, doing a ton of stuff. Also, our founder, Awesemo, who is on the stream, obviously once or twice a week, did an interview today with Adam Levitan, one of the top DFS podcasters, and I think a pretty strong player in his own right as well. That interview is up on Adam Levitan's Twitter. It's on Facebook Live right now. There'll be a podcast form coming up as well. So go check that out. It's a pretty interesting interview, pretty interesting little insight into how Awesemo works from a DFS perspective, and some of his plugs for us as well. And the baseball savant Jake Hari getting a little shout out as well in there.
I was super
let's
jealous.
talk baseball though. Baseball savant. He is the owner of Baseball Savant at MLB.com. People forget that.
People don't realize he's the hockey savant, and that's legit.
That is legit. And Jake also did pick a home run yesterday. The only one of us to do that correctly. Aaron Hicks hit a bomb. Unfortunately, Big Jake Bowers did not come through for me. And whatever asshole you picked, Josh, did not come through for you.
CJ Cron should have went with G-Man Choi, however.
I noticed that when it happened, and I felt the same thing too, where I was like, oh, it was so obvious. She had the best home run rate. I had the positive vibes. Sad I didn't pick him, but I'm happy for Asian baseball players across the world. I'm glad that we can be well represented.
You would have never picked him because I had him in quick hits.
To be honest, I haven't looked at quick hits since I stopped posting it to Instagram.
I was going to say, I feel like you wouldn't take it because I would give you shit for, riding my coattails.
No, I would do that just to be spiteful towards you.
That's fair. I think we would both get something out of that, oddly enough.
Yeah, no, I think so. No, I wish that was the case, but Bowers had a good day. Crone did not have a good day, but Choi was the one to have. That stack was interesting, and it was close to doing something, but didn't quite get there. Kind of a bummer. Boy, people just really asking for information. Oh, let us relax a little, decompress, guys.
Friday, I got some wine going on. Join the club.
What are you doing for stacks tonight? If you're a premium member of Awesemo.com, we have the article from Alex today is breaking down his top stack percentage, the most likely stacks to go off today relative to their ownership shares. What are you feeling with your little crunchies so far, Josh?
Complete side note to what we were talking about before we started. The Dodgers aren't first. They're tied for 5th in aggregate ownership on DK right now. But neither here nor there.
We know in Alex's rankings and the top stack percentage.
Oh, okay. Sorry. We were talking about 2 separate things then. I just refreshed the ownership, so I just wanted to say that before I forgot. So top stack for me right now would be the Rockies. They are 3rd for me on DK, 1st on FanDuel. The Cardinals are my 2nd overall. They are 1st for me on DK, 6th on FanDuel. And then 3rd is the Red Sox, 2nd on DK, 4th on FanDuel. I'm over the field on all 3. I'm over the field on the Dodgers, the Rays, the A's, and then I bounce between a couple of other teams depending on the site.
Okay. So what I was referencing is again an article for premium people where Awesemo breaks down his odds of each one being the most successful. And that is one we'll give you for free. He is referencing the Dodgers as being his best percentage chance on DraftKings of being the top stack, and also lower owned than they probably should be. I'm actually avoiding Coors today, to be honest. I think Maeda is good enough. I think Gray is good enough. The ownership, I think, doesn't necessarily back out that play quite as much because they're not terribly highly owned for a matchup in Coors. But for me, I was okay fading them tonight, especially with this many games. I don't know. I just see Maeda and Gray having more of a pitcher's duel than people would expect in Coors.
I just think it's kind of interesting that you can get those Dodgers bats at a relative ownership discount by playing in Coors. That's sort of my appeal. I think the Dodgers are really, really good. And to be able to get them in a great hitting environment, it's not optimal to have John Gray on the other side, but I think it's a unique opportunity. Ownership is really mushed together today. So I like the idea of going in on teams that have higher natural talent.
Okay. No, I think that makes sense. I think for me, and I like the Dodgers. I do think I agree that they're a very good team, is very good at a variety of things. But I do feel like I just think Gray's good at limiting hard contact, and I think the Dodgers can have an okay day. But I think there are some pitchers on the slate who are a little bit worse than those guys and might be easier to attack in various ways.
I totally get it. There are a lot of really solid options. I understand why the ownership is mashed together, so it's pretty easy to get to a different team other than Coors.
I guess outside of Coors, then, which stack are you feeling is the best for what their ownership is?
So I've got 3 teams where I'm more than 4% above the field. That would be the Red Sox, the Rays, and the Indians. That's on DK. I like all those teams as well on FanDuel. The Cardinals for me are like my high-end stack. Number 1 on DK. They're a team that I want to have a lot of. I don't like the Royals all that much. Not a big fan of Birch Smith. Not a big fan of the Royals bullpen. So I think the Cardinals are set up really nicely. And they've got a really relatively cheap price point across the board. Really easy to fit in.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Cardinals. I think they actually are a little underrepresented there. I think Carpenter's also a pretty good one-off given the matchup with Birch Smith and how terrible he is versus lefties. Gives up almost a home run 5.7% of the time to lefties. Not good. So I think for me, Carpenter is a one-off, but that stack in general I think looks good. I'm trying to think who else I have a fair amount of tonight. The Yankees, too, I feel like the ownership isn't there quite as much. And Mike Minor has been better than people realize. So I think that is a spot where I don't mind attacking. It helps that the Yankees are at home. I guess it would be nice if they were in Texas, too. But Minor is worse versus righties, and the righties there at the top of the order, especially that Hicks, Stanton, Torres part of the lineup. And I think even Andujar and Voit, if you want to full stack them, I think the Yankees are a little under-owned for being the Yankees, and especially when you get down to Andujar and Voit.
They're the most owned team on DK.
Wait, hold on. Are they?
Yeah.
But that's only
they're in a virtual tie with the Twins, but they're both at 9% aggregate.
That's because of Stanton, though. Stanton, we have projected to be the highest owned guy. Like, I feel like it's still pretty lowly owned for the stack. It's just Stanton's so highly owned compared to everybody else. He's 35% right now for our projections.
That's true.
So that I think that carries the stack a little higher than it probably would be in aggregate. A's and Angels lineups are out. No Trout in the lineup. I think Trout's on the 10-day DL now, is what an alert I saw today.
Yeah, I mean he wasn't in the projected lineup either.
Yeah. He is in the 10-day DL, I think, retroactive to whenever he started missing. So, yeah. Always knew Osmo was a ladies' man. He plays TFS for the Nookie. Yes, that was his best joke, but that is legitimately part of why he founded this website, was so he had something easier to explain to women about what he does. So that is a truism.
Great strategy.
Look, that's why so many things in the world happen, is including us being employed, is just chasing punani.
I mean, if I told my wife when I met her that I played fantasy sports for a living, she would have been like, "All right, fucking beat it, loser." But if I said I run like a sports media company, I would have been significantly more appealing on paper.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I was actually unemployed at the time, so it couldn't have been much worse than that.
People are asking about the Twins in the chat. We kind of blew by them real fast in terms of their ownership. How are you feeling about them? They seem pretty highly owned for being the Twins, but it is a good matchup.
Yeah, so it's a tale of two stories, depending on the site. They are insanely cheap on FanDuel. They are the chalk stack on FanDuel, and I think that that's reasonable because they don't have anybody in the lineup over $3,000 in salary, or at least they didn't Yeah, and that's still the case. Eddie Rosario is the most expensive person in the lineup at $3,000 on FanDuel. No one else is above $2,500. You can pick whoever you want in the Twins lineup, and it allows you to get to Garrett Cole and any other high-value stack with ease. So I understand why they're as owned as they are on FanDuel. On DK, I'm with the field, but I'm not like over or under any appreciable amount. We've got 9% aggregate ownership to the Twins. I've got 8. So I'm right there with the field on the Twins. I'm not super stoked about them one way or the other. On FanDuel, it's where they're like an insane value.
Okay, I think that makes sense. I still like them on DK, but I would agree the prices aren't that amazing where they're necessarily something that you're trying to get to a ton. But some issues with rankings, I guess. Not great. Boom boom. Wait, are our rankings down, or is it the combined rankings thing down?
The DK rankings have been a bit of an issue. I let everybody know in our Slack, so right now it's out of our hands. I couldn't control it if I wanted to.
Yeah, and sorry guys. Unfortunately, there are some people out of pocket today because of the Fantasy Baseball World Championship going on. So they should be fixed before lock. But sorry, our apologies. This guy Josh Anderson really saying Lomo over and over again, making me like Logan Morrison less and less the more he says it.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, Logan Morrison's fine. I think he's generally going to be perceived as the better first base option of Joe Mauer, and he's a little cheaper than him. So no issue with Logan Morrison or Lomo. Rankings were updated. Does that mean they're working now?
Yeah, check that out.
Yep, rankings for DK should be working now. They just got an update. Some wonkiness due to Rafael Ortega right now, but everything else seems like it's working if you are in need of our rankings and you have premium.
Here's what we're gonna do. Just in case this happens again. Anyone with the link can view. Share, get shareable link. All right, I just pasted a link to a Google Doc in the chat. Those are my DK projections as of right now. I'm not going to update them if people are in or out, but that should give you what you need.
Hey, there you go. Free bonus content, but the rankings are up right now if you are a premium member. So go check them out. Should be working on all the different formats there.
Yeah. just in case anything happens again, DK projections are out there. Have at it.
Taylor Steiger mentioning the Arizona stack. That is a stack. It's an ongoing theme that me and Anthony DeSclafani, not pals, really arch nemesis in various ways, despite him probably not knowing who I am. I'll say probably. There's at least a 1% chance. How do you feel? There's a 1% chance. I think that's fair.
It's probably Arizona, higher than that, actually.
Arizona going against DeSclafani. How do you feel about them?
So I have the Diamondbacks as my 7th overall stack. They are 9th on DK, 5th on FanDuel. I'm above the field on both. But I'd be remiss to say that I do have 8% DeSclafani.
Okay. So you're right in the field with them. With him rather for that ownership. I do not like DeSclafani. I will never like DeSclafani. And I do like the righties and the lefties in that lineup, but especially the lefties. The lefties there, to me, Peralta hitting up top, I think is pretty interesting. Also, I think Avila hitting down in the order is interesting. So I think there are a couple guys you can go to there. You have Marte and Escobar, who also can hit from different sides of the plate. To me, I think that going after DeSclafani is not a bad play, but more with a mini stack than a full stack for me.
I have like half of a Chubb right now. The Angels, A's, and Padres lineups all came out, and I didn't lose anybody to exposure, which means that as of right now, I don't have to do a recrunch on a 14-game slate, which is usually like my undoing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
DeSclafani over under 5Ks tonight, Josh.
I have him projected for 5.3, so give me the over.
Yeah, I think he gets Ks. I think the risk with him is more giving up home runs. Just, again, very, very bad versus lefties thus far. Maybe even due for some regression back to normalcy. But he's given up home runs to lefties 8.7% of the time. with a 7.8 xFIP. So he has been very, very bad versus lefties.
T McBee winning the chat. Every night Desclafani takes the mound and pounds his mitt thinking, this is the night I prove that goddamn internet stream guy wrong.
T McBee, you're right. I'm sure it's a very big motivator. He probably has a photo of me somewhere that he looks at and he gets when he's training. It's maybe in the bullpen somewhere. I don't know. I want to believe I'm that deep in somebody's head, but probably not.
That makes me happy.
Another ownership update is out too for premium members, so go check that out. Lots of working on behind the scenes. What are you doing at pitcher tonight? Before we get to home runs at 6:30 Eastern.
So for pitcher, I'm just going to read off everybody that I have in double digits. I've got Garrett Cole at 21%. That's right with the field. I've got Blake Snell at 16%. That is 2 times the field. Nope, 3 times the field. I've got Nady Eovaldi at 8. I'm just saying that because he's owned at 11, so I'm right there. I'm double the field on Zach Eflin, 11%. I've got 21% Shane Bieber. I've got 20% Kevin Gausman, 18% Jose Urena. That's a guy that I'm a little over double the field on. Austin Gomber is probably my biggest guy. Is my biggest guy. 28% on Gomber. We're only projecting 12. And then I've got an overwhelming amount of Clay Holmes, 29%.
Okay. Wow. That is so no Zach Wheeler. I think that he didn't come up in there.
I have 0% Zach Wheeler on both sites.
No Tanaka either.
No Tanaka right now. I have a little bit of Tanaka on FanDuel.
Man, your new shitty pitcher approach really throws me for a loop every time.
I mean, I greatly prefer Blake Snell at a price just slightly below those two. So.
Okay. I like Eovaldi a lot. I think he's in a good spot. He's been showing pretty well. I mean, he was good before the trade, but I think after the trade too, he's shown even a little more than you would hope for. So getting the Orioles for me looks good there. I'm with you on Eflin. I think he looks pretty good too. One thing to note is he is pretty terrible versus lefties. So I think he has a worse home run rate on the slate versus lefties. So that's something just to watch out for. Bieber is one. So the team total makes sense. He is on the road though. And he gets mashed versus lefties, and there are a fair amount of lefties and switch hitters there. I mean, Bieber is a tightrope, so that's one where I do think there is a leverage point there, especially if he's going to be almost 20% owned.
It's just the White Sox, man. They're so bad.
No, you're right. You're right. I do have a White Sox stack tonight, or two, I think. I know I have at least one. And I think they're in an interesting spot going against Bieber. Bieber's home run rate, though, is not that bad. That's the one spot that kind of sucks to me. But I don't know, very, very low-owned White Sox right now. That's all I would say. And I hate Bieber. I also fucking hate Bieber.
White Sox are tied for 26th in my rate. Or no, they're just straight 26th overall for me.
Okay, I didn't even realize Josh was asking about the White Sox. But yeah, look. Josh, I think you're on a good thought process there. Stupid Bieber. Triple A lineup in Miami. That is also correct and definitely benefits Eflin. How do y'all feel about the Atlanta stack? Atlanta, I did not get to tonight.
I basically don't have them, but I am over the field. So let's see what I actually have. It's probably mostly Freeman. So I've got 6% Acuna, 3% Albies, 8% Freeman, and some Tyler Flowers. So I'm fine with that.
I think the reason I didn't get there tonight is because Peralta is not really a leverage play. He's only projected for 5% ownership tonight. But I do think if you're going to attacking him with the lefties and the switch hitters makes sense. 1.5 whip versus lefties versus a 0.64 whip versus righties. And I think that 2 through 6 could do some damage against them. So I don't hate the play. The team total though doesn't back out it, and Peralta's good enough. So I think it's not a bad play if you're doing a ton of entries, but it's definitely not one of my top stacks at all. And I love Atlanta, but not tonight.
The only hedge stack that I would want to do would be the Royals tonight. They're the only ones that grade out as decent for a pitcher that I have a lot of.
Jake, I'm on the Sox white, also in for the Sox Comer red. Okay. I don't know why you typed it like that. Is that a reference to something that I'm missing?
Yeah, one's the White Sox, one's the Red Sox. It's 2 separate Sox teams, different colors.
But But Sox comma caps lock white and Sox comma caps lock red seems like it's referencing something.
I think he just wants to make sure that you understand the particular colored socks that he likes tonight. I'm with Jake. I get it.
He is the savant. I don't want to question it.
I mean, it might not have been my pick for a joke, but I get it.
For a Jake joke, though, it's doing all right.
Nailed it.
Let's see. People talking about the White Sox. Look, I think you're right. Josh, still think you're correct. Josh Anderson, not you, Josh. Only what? I don't like Kevin Zoe given an LMAO. Okay.
Whatever happened to LMFAO?
I probably ran out of hits.
Had that John A from Real World, one of the videos.
Could it be like a wine list reference that Jake is? I don't think Jake's like a big wine guy, so I don't think that's what he was going for there.
I think Jake's too young to be into wine.
No, because I think wine is popular now. I think in part the LeBronization of wine probably makes it popular for younger males, I think, than it would be otherwise.
I don't know. I took a box of Franzia to a party once in college, and I was chided for that.
Oh. People love Franzia, though, in college. I feel like that's not...
I mean, like crazy. Women or like people just trying to drink the whole bag by themselves.
Yeah,
I took it like because I wanted wine at the party, you know? But I was poor.
I think it's enough of a bring for a get. I mean, obviously a case of something would be more logical, but no, I think wine is popular enough.
I mean, it was to like a dirty college party, not like a casual.
But Franzia's dirty wine. It's not like that's a class wine.
Right. Look, I thought I was right.
I agree. I love calling you wrong as much as I can, but that's not one that I would think you're wrong on. Plus, you brought it for the honeys. Who knows?
I'm almost confident that there were no women there.
Well, but there weren't women, but there were honeys. Right? We
didn't have a lot of like random broads coming in. We were too busy watching like wrestling pay-per-views and shit.
Josh, can you quickly just run through what's got you so high on Blake Snell? People also asking about Snell as in a pitch count. What are you doing with Snell? What are you worried about with Snell?
I'm not worried about anything, really. I just like Blake Snell. I'm not super worried about the pitch count.
I'm not going Snell tonight, but is the ownership on Snell? I could see why you would. I could certainly see why you would. All right, let's do home run picks since it's almost that time. It's almost 6:30 Eastern time, which is the official time that we need to make this happen. What are you doing? You could go first.
Alrighty. I haven't looked at it, so let's figure it out. Give me Mitch Moreland.
Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah, I know.
I like the lefties versus in that matchup, so I think you're right there. I'll go with another guy having a lineup with Mitch Moreland, so not quite the same benefit. But I'm gonna go Alex Avila.
Let's see where he's at. Can't be high. Coming in at 140th.
See, that I don't get. Like that, I don't understand how you landed on that. So for me, he has a home run rate. Oh, actually, no. Wait. How does that math work out? Oh, it's because Diesel Swamp is so bad. That's why. Okay, I see why. You know what? No, never mind. I'm
motherfucker, I should keep my mouth shut.
Well, the thing is, like, this guy's not going to be any higher either. If I want to go against DeSclafani, the options aren't great. Fuck.
God, you're welcome.
Oh,
I should get half credit for whoever you get now.
No, because it's a negligible difference. I want to go Peralta just because he's higher in the order and a better player. But I don't think he's that much better in this spot than Avila. I'm going to stick with Avila. I'll stick with Avila.
Peralta?
Yeah.
David Peralta comes in at a crisp 66th.
But I think I don't know. Your formula might weigh regression or something more than I do. Mine is just looking straight up at how bad is DeSclafani versus lefties, and his home run rate versus lefties is so high that it's artificially inflating all these guys.
Okay, well, look, go with who you want, man. Go back to the catcher that's not going to homer tonight.
Alex Avila.
I've had 2 glasses of wine now, so I feel like a little good.
You're housewives drunk. That's what you are.
A little lubricated.
T. McBee, just go Goldie Chris. I'm going against DeSclafani with a lefty. That's where I try to target the weakest possible part of a slate when I make my home run pick. And to me, that's DeSclafani versus lefties. So that's why no Goldie. Goldies are righty. If you were a lefty, yes. If you were Freddie Freeman, then for sure. What do you think about a mini red stack?
I don't remember seeing it. Yeah, I don't have them at all.
It's not a terrible play. I mean, Clay Buchholz hasn't been anything to write home about.
Let me be more specific. I don't have them on DK. I'm with the field on FanDuel.
Yeah, I don't see anything in particular here that's that crazy, but it's a decent team total, so sure. And Buchholz has been pretty bad, at times at least. So nothing wrong with it. Descalso versus DeSclafani. Descalso is not in the lineup though, unfortunately. Otherwise, yes, that would be great. Philly stack. Do you have any Philly going against Jacob Nix making his first start from the minors? No sample size at all in the majors thus far.
I'm a notch above the field on DK, and I'm with the field on FanDuel, but it's still relatively minimal. They're like 11th or 12th. I'll have a line or two, but that's basically it.
Nick seems to have pretty good stuff. I mean, all the reports on him are pretty close to being a top prospect. I wish the total were a little lower, and I'd feel better about playing him. But yeah, didn't feel the need to have Philly tonight. I think that's going to be a game where they might get to him a little, but probably not enough as a stack to be super useful. At least that's what I'm reading it as, especially at Petco. I don't think Nix gets hit that hard, at least in the minors.
I don't even remember looking at him any longer.
Clay Holmes is somebody I think you talked about this morning. How are you doing on him?
I've got like 5 times the field of Holmes. Big fan today. He's in the perfect situation for one of these like $4,000 guys. In that he's got a big time fastball. That's all he's got. He's got no control. Doesn't really have like an out pitch, but he can bring a heater. And I like that as a GPP play for like a minimum salary guy. So it's a bit of a roll of the dice. I like the park. To be able to get somebody like that where in AT&T mistakes are going to be limited a bit. So I'm mashing the shit out of him. It could go really poorly because he is incredibly hittable, but I'm hoping the ballpark can help me out there. And I'm hoping he can miss some bats.
He's also not giving up a ton of hard contact. So again, I think that's one of those risks where he's cheap and he's not giving up a ton of hard contact. That's the kind of guy who I think you could be okay playing. And also pretty low team total as well. So yeah, I think that makes sense enough. Actually, there's another guy I was just going to ask about who just fucking slipped my mind, who fit that criteria too. Oh, Brett Anderson. Brett Anderson, low team total for him tonight. Very bad pitcher. And his total's actually gone down, which does not fucking make sense. Brett Anderson, any thoughts on him tonight?
I have 0. I don't plan on getting any more than 0. So yeah, not a fan.
So I think Makad, our boy in the chat, did not ask this yet, but I think he would be my Paul Blackburn of the night for a terrible pitcher who might be in a winning lineup, just because that team total is very low, and it strikes me as being Mike Fiers-esque. That's all I would say. For like Brett Anderson to have a total that low, there has to be some reason why. He's very bad. Very bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Souza's a good hitter. Good deck. Okay, sure. Kevin Zoe was just saying. I feel like Kevin Zoe was just saying random thoughts about things.
That's okay. Sometimes we just like to talk.
If Jake doesn't pick a home run, does he default to Eugenio Suarez at this point? That is probably a fair approach for him.
Yeah.
But
if he doesn't get anybody, he doesn't get shit.
Yeah. You got to actually make your picks. You got to make your picks at the time that we make them.
Very true statement.
Oh my God, this guy. Jake is not given a home run pick yet. And Jake is also in last place. So don't worry about Jake's picks.
I hope we don't have to do like picks where we pick who's going to score a goal, because Jake's going to fuck us up in that.
I think that segment whenever we do NHL is just going to be Jake talking and me looking at my phone.
That's what I said to Tom yesterday. I was like, oh, Jake should just come on and do like an extended version of quick hits for hockey.
Yeah, like you're expecting me to ask questions about hockey that are salient. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm more likely to play NHLPA 93 for Sega on the live stream than understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, there we go. Jake's home run pick is in. He's going Daniel Palka, a veteran of the dong sheet process. Let me update all these.
I'm glad you've taken that over.
Well,
if I take it over, I mean just started doing it when I stopped doing it. Daniel Palka, 30th.
Okay.
Makad, I am drinking some sort of Montepulciano. I do not remember what it is. It's got a piece of wood tied around the front of it. That's the best I can do. The wife has like a fucking abundance of wine at this house on a day-to-day basis, so I don't know. She could probably tell you.
Also, just so we can update the home run totals in general, currently Josh and I are tied with 14 since we started doing it. Yeah, 14. No, wait, 15? Oh, shit. Yeah, we're tied at 15 now. And Jake is just behind with 12. So, there we go.
What's the view like all the way the fuck back there, man?
Yeah, good for us. We hit 15. That's not bad. How do you feel about Austin Hedges on DK? Not much.
I assume I don't have him, but worth a look.
Yeah, Flynn's pretty good versus righties, so
I've got a 0 on the Padres on both sides.
I would one off Hosmer, I think, if I were going to go with anybody there. Pretty good lefty matchup. 6.1% home run rate for Zach Eflin. Did your Benintendi one count? Yes, it did. You still are very far behind, Jake.
Yeah, I don't mind giving you the Benintendi one. You were right. Just because the game didn't finish doesn't mean you weren't right.
Yeah, Jake is just like Jake is Dion Waiters basically. He had a stretch of like 20 something days with no home runs, maybe more, and then he had that run where he had like 5 in a row. Then it was a cold streak again. It's tough. It's a tough game, this home run game.
It is, man.
How do you feel about Yolmer Sanchez? Yolmer Sanchez fits the criteria that I would like in that he's a switch hitter going against Bieber. So I do like Yolmer Sanchez.
I assume I don't have him. Nope, I don't have him.
You are just a believer.
I am a believer, man. I'm a fan of Shane Bieber. Yeah, Beaver. I'm a fan of. Oh my God. I'm a fan of Shane Bieber. I'm also a fan of Justin Bieber.
Current Justin Bieber or just historical Justin Bieber?
Just in general. I mean, that dude's living it up. It's got to be really hard to be him, as weird as that sounds. I mean, obviously, like, life is easy, but fuck me, man. That must be a grind sometimes.
Yeah, that much time under the microscope is tough. I agree.
Am I getting?
I mean, the fact that he had a mental breakdown is not surprising in any way. And now he seems like he's leveled out with it. Also, Delmonico hitting leadoff against Bieber. I feel like it could go south fast for Bieber. That's what I'm hoping and thinking. Nice 3-run dong for Daniel Palka if Jake's right. Imagine having Justin Bieber's childhood and being somewhat normal. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't think he's somewhat normal though. He's definitely been proven to be
normal though. Like, does anybody come out the other side as like super normal?
You'd have to be a person who basically fades out of the public spotlight at some point, I think, deliberately to come out normal. Like, that would be a sign that you're normal. Is like you had the experience, and then you like went to college. Like Natalie Portman is what I perceive as normal. Who's like even remotely comparable.
Yeah, I guess. Like, he was just. It's really hard to like put myself in his shoes. I think about the dumb shit that I did that was like completely out of the public spotlight, you know?
Yeah, no, and his are all remembered. Same thing with Britney Spears too, when she had her breakdown like that. I mean, she was obviously much older, but
Right.
but, you know, it's tough to have that stuff in the public spotlight, and it only piles on top of each other.
True.
To be fair, Jake also doesn't pick Coors Field and the chalk every day. Neither do any of us. Pick whoever your heart speaks to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't care about picking chalk as much as I care about picking like opportunistic home run park type shit.
I just care about picking the best player in the best spot.
I said it earlier on the stream this morning. When I picked CJ Cron yesterday, I didn't have him in a single lineup.
Which worked out because he had 0.
Well, I mean, that changed after I re-crunched, but when I opened it up, I had like 15% Choi and 0% CJ Cron. And I was like, what in the world am I doing? I'm going to go yard and it's going to hurt me.
Choi was a great play. People just didn't know. People were sleeping on Choi.
I told everybody, don't stop sleeping. Wake up and listen to me.
Ownership percentage doesn't matter? What? When did anybody say that?
It doesn't matter to me.
In general? No. Again, what? With home runs?
Picking a home run,
general?
it doesn't matter to me. I'm aggressively stacking teams. I could not get a guy a lot that I think has a really good individual matchup.
Oh yeah, for home run picks, I don't consider ownership at all. It's just like if a guy's chalk, I'll like that's all. But like I don't care. I'm not going to avoid chalk. Like the Nelson Cruz the other day was chalky, but like that was also a day after a bad one.
Like on a day like today, there's 28 teams playing. There are plenty of like home run hitting guys that are on teams that I'm not necessarily on. It doesn't make them bad plays, but I mean they become nothing more than a one-off, so their ownership is naturally low. It doesn't necessarily make them bad home run options.
Metal burning Josh becoming a standard tout. He's not a standard tout. He's just a tout boy.
I'm the tout that gives everybody fucking everything.
I don't think you've been touting as much since I called you out the other day, for whatever it's worth.
I don't tout at all. I tout to you and Jake in our Slack. I'm not posting screenshots of my winnings and shit. Come on.
We discussed No, what put me over the top was the internet comment that you made to the random commenter. You were like, "Check my screenshots, bitch."
What did I actually say?
Hey, home slice, check my ROI, then we'll talk.
That's not at all how it came out. What's the verbatim quote? It'll be in front of me.
I think doing shows is inherently touting, though. Yeah, well, true. I think you can say your picks did successful and stuff. I don't know. I think there's a different approach.
In theory, I am a tout. However, I am like the most visible tout that exists in this industry. I show you guys everything. I share my screen the entire time I talk. I said I don't mean this in a cocky way, but it's truly my thoughts. That's something that I might take a look at during the offseason, but not now, with regards to evaluating my stacks. For now, I'm using my ROI as a barometer.
It's the last line, though. It's the last line.
Right. That's my barometer. I don't have to do that research because I'm winning.
Tout boy. Tout boy.
My home run pick is not meant to be a DFS selection. It's a competition amongst my fellow co-hosts for bragging rights. They're not one and the same.
You know, it's also, I think, sort of the lack of ownership over your bad picks sometimes. Like, I think that's why I would call you tout boy, because like when I make a bad pick, I'll ride or die with it. Like I'll ride Homer Bailey till the end of the world. But like you'll be like, whatever, data said it. I don't know. And it's like, you know, you make your picks, you make your pick, good or bad. I think it's true of everybody. If you make your picks good or bad, you just take the lumps or take.
I just don't care. We play too much to care about any specific thing.
I care about all of them. I care about anything I say publicly that's like gonna reflect upon me for the most. Well, that's not true, but I mean, you know, it is all a mechanism of how people view you. So I think that's fair. Being forthcoming isn't too braggy-ish. I agree. I think be forthcoming with your successes and your failures.
You guys will see my entire MLB performance on the last day of MLB season. I'll show you everything I did for the entire year.
If I won as much as Josh, I'd be grabbing my nuts and bragging every day. Hey, There you go. So that's somebody who's more of a tout boy.
Dude, I can't imagine what you would do if I won like Alex did.
The thing is, like, I wouldn't talk about it. Like, when I started getting better at basketball, like, I just didn't. Like, I posted one screenshot that was like a top 5, and never after that, I was just like, okay, I'm just not going to do this anymore because that's not my brand. And I don't want people to know about like everything I'm doing, good or bad.
I do. I mean, I personally do, just because I want people to be like, oh, yeah, he's as trustworthy as it gets. He shows us everything. I got nothing to hide. I don't care if people know how much money I'm making playing DFS. It's not nearly as much as anybody thinks it is. I play low stakes. But I've been incredibly profitable for baseball season. I want people to know that. I want people to come to Osmo thinking, oh, shit, that guy's at least been doing well.
Sure. There is benefit.
Nobody on Roto Grinders is showing their results or talking about how good they've done.
If you won like Alex, you turn the profit into cash for that day's stream and roll around in it.
If I won like Alex, you'd never see me again. I wouldn't build a media company. I'd get the fuck away from everyone.
Chris learned his lesson. I don't know what lesson I've never learned a lesson. No, I learned from everything. But yeah, no, I just make my best pick at the moment. That's always what I'll do. And then the results are the results.
JJ, I wouldn't have to tell everyone if I won $1 million. Everyone would know.
Just tell people you poor. That's true. Just tell people you're poor.
Since this has become my profession, I have enjoyed playing DFS very, very much.
I enjoy this other sports. I think baseball's fun. Like, I enjoy it, but it's not quite the same for me.
I love baseball because I don't have to pay attention to it.
I like baseball less because I don't get to quite pay as much attention to it. I also don't max enter things. Like, I don't have enough time to do that, so I just do a handful of lineups. So for me, it's like, it's not winning money. It's just playing in the big tournaments and basically trading paint every day. So it's not the same experience for me. But with basketball like that, at least I know I have a shot every day because I think I know basketball about as well as anybody playing it.
I enjoy basketball more than anything else.
You like Pena on DK for a low-end pitcher play. I never like Pena.
I mean, I don't like him as much as Jake. I have 9%, so I'm slightly over the field.
Phillies lineup is not out yet. Yes, that is correct. Still missing quite a few lineups.
Phillies lineup out.
Oh, there we go. I get results. I complain. No Justin Bour in the lineup yet, though.
JJ standing. I hate basketball because of the late scratches 1 minute after lock. Honestly, I love that part of it all. I love seeing people fucking melt down because of it. I don't care. It's going to affect me just as much as it's going to affect everybody else. It's a net neutral in my opinion. But I love seeing people have panic attacks over it. It's not as bad as when you tout somebody and they get removed from the NBA entirely before that lineup locks. But, you know.
Again, that's a spot where I dug deep and found somebody at the end of the season, and he ended up getting released. But that was the thought. I would defend that till the end of the day. Tim Quarterman, you are my anti-Anthony DeSclafani. I will love you till the end of the earth, Tim Quarterman.
That was seriously the highlight of everything we've done so far. Quarterman getting full on cut for Ty Lawson or whoever the fuck it was. No, it wasn't Lawson. Who was it?
It was Houston. I forget who ended it. I think Aaron Jackson got the reps instead.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
My melt is melty. I know NBA and NFL 10,000 times more. It's a lot of times more, Andrew mocked, but I agree with that. NFL, I know really well. NBA, I know the best. NFL, I know really well, but I feel like it hasn't converted to fantasy success quite as much. So I'm optimistic for this season that it'll be better.
17 weeks of let's say 19 weeks of NFL, 19 data points. It's a fucking crapshoot. I hate the NFL so much. I hate situations where opportunity isn't known. Hi, baby doll.
I'll love it when Virgil Green is a top 10 tight end.
You spilled wine on the steps. Apparently, I spilled wine on our steps.
Oh, good job.
Whatever.
Just remember, guys, Virgil Green, 2,700 week 1. We'll all look back on that one and we'll be like, damn.
With the way you were touting tight ends today, I feel like you're going to recommend like a fucking pinch hitter today.
It's not. It's about opportunity for both hitters and for football players. Wow. Ochi Blue coming in with the grandpa take. I just hate what basketball culture has become. They basically have strippers do the halftime show.
Who wouldn't want that?
They also don't have it. They have like Chinese women juggling plates and riding unicycles for the vast majority of the game.
When did the Pirates lineup come out? Oh, literally right now. Okay.
Yeah. Still no Giants, though.
But seriously, sign me up for strippers at halftime. It'd make halftime more interesting. Nobody gives a shit about halftime. You get a couple broads out there on a pole?
While we're talking touting, just real fast. So Andrew Suarez is really bad, and the Pittsburgh stack was pretty good. And Elias Diaz hit a home run yesterday. So I just want to close the loop on that one because that one made me feel good. When I saw Diaz hit a home run, I had like 100% of them. Didn't matter too much for the night, but I felt pretty good for Elias Diaz. I wanted to walk with Elias.
I hate that I get it.
I do think, by the way, that Pittsburgh is in a somewhat similar spot. I'm not stacking them as heavily tonight because it's a much bigger slate, but I do think they have a pretty good matchup tonight on that side. Said Suarez would suck. Use the eye test. Eye test should be a part of your process sometimes, but don't let it cloud you. Data is the thing. You playing EPL? Are you doing that?
I might fuck around and throw some lineups in, but I haven't built a model. Oddly enough, I have less time to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, because we're not actually making a model. It's unfortunate.
I have some like started stuff on soccer, but I'm just more worried about Liverpool winning the Premier League than playing fantasy soccer right now.
Best pitcher combo for a cash game tonight. We do have to talk about cash games for every live stream for that one dude. So how do you feel about the best pitcher combo for cash?
I don't know. I probably don't like it. Give me 1 second. I'm about to run my crunch for FanDuel, so I just got to click crunch and then get back to it. And then I'll give you the answer. All right, that should be good. All right, best pitcher combo for cash. I mean, I would see what I could do with like Eovaldi and Bieber. I think Cole and Bieber could be practical if you can get to something decent, but you probably need to get a little bit lower. So if I were going to play one cash lineup, I would probably look at something like Cole and Gomber.
Gomber for cash. I guess it's an easy matchup, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gomber got blown up tonight. Royals have done it a couple times lately.
I'm under the field on the Royals, so I think I've got a little bit more faith in Gomber. Gomber getting 10% ownership. There's not a lot, like, it's either going to be Gaussman or Gomber. So if you prefer Gaussman to Gomber, then I think that's practical. But I would try to do Cole plus that. And if you can't get Cole with any sort of reasonable, comfortable stack, I would drop to Eovaldi.
Stack the Phillies. Now watch Jacob Nix throw a 7-inning no-hitter with 5+ K. I think Nix is in an interesting spot. Seems like he has good stuff.
I have 3%.
3% of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somber on Gomber.
You
could be. Anything good? Get your last questions in. If you have any either ors, that you list your site so Josh doesn't have a conniption.
It's not. It's just so I can give the right answer. It's not like I have a personal problem with it. I can't answer if I don't know what they want.
Listen, we don't want Josh to have a conniption here, so why don't we list your sites if you're doing either ors, but get them in now. I think I'm going to play a John Gray lineup. Just happened to work out while I was doing this.
Fine.
Why not?
He owned? 6%? I have 6%. I'm matching the field right now, if that helps you.
Okay. I like that. think he can get some strikeouts, maybe. I think John Gray, like, again, I'm just fading that game entirely. I don't think the pitchers are great plays, though. I would be more inclined to play Maeda probably than Gray, but
look,
for that one lineup.
It's not like Coors is poison to pitchers. It's just more advantageous to hitters. It doesn't mean it's always advantageous. So, yeah, like, I have no problem having some Gray in that scenario. In my opinion, he's good. I don't know if he's good in the Rockies' opinion.
Kevin Zoe with a big claim saying the Detroit stack is the best of the day. How much Detroit do you have, Josh?
Less than the field does. 3%. I'm under the field.
Irvin Santana's been very bad lately, but Detroit also very bad. That's sort of an immovable object meeting the unstoppable force thing.
Good wrestling reference.
Oh, I think that's just a life reference.
Yeah, but it's, Gorilla Monsoon was a big fan of it.
Oh, true. Yeah, and I don't mind the Tigers tonight, but yeah, I think Jake's approach is better. Mini stack that. I would not be trying to full stack the Detroit Tigers too much. Go with that Gerber baby, though.
I'm getting my my stuff ready for after this.
Mauer, Lomo, Voit, or Choi on FanDuel? It's a tough question.
I'm going to answer that as soon as I paste these FanDuel lineups in. How's that?
Sure. I think I would probably go Voit because of the ownership that's on Mauer and Lomo right now. But
I'm guessing it's Voit. But I'm a big John Voit fan.
The dentist. That's how his name was spelled. Whereas the other John Voight is Voight.
That's true, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
No, I just appreciate you confirming my spelling. I thought we were doing a John Voight spelling bee.
I got second in the spelling bee when I was in elementary school.
I was my school's great hope to win a spelling bee, and I choked on sneeze because I got distracted.
I lost on higher. I was like Higher, and they were like, "That's incorrect. It's Hire." I was like, "Motherfuckers!"
Use it in a sentence, you dipshit.
They're like, "Yo, this is gonna be a word that has multiple spellings."
Well, it's important that you tried. I'll always hold that one as some sort of failure level in my head because I really felt like I know how to fucking spell the word sneeze. And I was with kids, like one kid couldn't spell the word twig. It was like a New York public school spelling bee thing. So it was like legitimately kids who were not good at spelling and various other things. And I really should have won that. And I just like got distracted and just dropped an E and sneeze like a fucking idiot.
All right. So Voight. Yeah, the answer is Voight. Oh, no, it's not. I'll take Choi.
Like Kevin Zoe is going full top boy. Cheat code of the day is not Victor Martinez. Like if you're right about that one, Kevin Zoe, I will remember that and I will fully laud you on Monday. But
cheat code of the day is VMart.
Victor Martinez.
I have 2%.
That's probably more than enough Victor Martinez.
Who was in the chat when they called that Culberson home run like 2 days ago?
Oh yeah, I forget who that was. But
it was fun. Josh, do you still have 15% of Urena? Now I have 12. And I'm dropping my updated DraftKings projections into that Google Sheet again. Just to be a good lad.
Yeah, after you were all, I'll never post them again.
I didn't think I was going to have time.
I steadfastly refused to update them. I think that was an exact quote.
Normally everything's getting all fucked up closer to lock, but today was a pretty neutral day, so.
I'm stacking against Peralta right now, and I'm not really feeling it. Just not a lot of home runs for Peralta, giving up.
Wait. Whatever. So you're going Braves now?
Just for one. Because like when we were going over it, I did kind of identify Peralta is pretty bad versus the lefties, and they do have a shitload of lefties in the middle there. That's enough. Sometimes I notice things while we're doing the stream that I just don't catch for some reason. Usually a split. And that tends to actually usually be interesting whenever I do stack those. So Ryder dying on VMart.
JM in the chat. I lost on slander. I thought she said slender. Shout Childhood spelling bees, man, they're a motherfucker.
That's why the kids ask for like repeating over and over again on when you watch the ESPN version of it. Like they don't play around.
Can we talk about how that's even on ESPN?
It's also fucked up. It's one of those things too that was a legacy, like old internet, old TV approach where they just want people to like make fun of the kids, basically watch the show because you're just like laughing at the kids. And now it's like this empowering thing. But like I know why they had that show on the beginning because you want to see fucking goofy kids look like assholes and people would make fun of it and Deadspin would blog it and shit.
Yeah, I hate that like it's all words that no one knows how to use. And we're like, oh, that kid can't spell whatever, xylophone or something. And it's like, yeah. And I know fucking 60 more people that can't do it, and they're grown adults.
I can spell xylophone.
I could not spell xylophone.
XYLOPHONE.
Yeah, you're right. I guess I didn't really think about that one all that far ahead. But you know what I mean, though? Like,
yeah,
they're all words that are not used in anyone's vernacular.
I think I could win a spelling bee now.
Against like 6-year-olds?
Especially against 6-year-olds, but like against adults of a comparable age.
I promise you that I could. We are a terrible option for this now. Because none of us know how to fucking spell because our phones fix it. We have lived way too long in an era where we don't have to be correct because our technology fixes our problems. Kids coming up, they're really fucked. But like, how long has it been since you've had to know how to spell a word? Like 15 years? More than that?
Yeah, it definitely makes you a little worse. But I don't know. I still tried. I pride myself on my properly spelled text and stuff for the most part. So I think that still like, carries over.
It's not because I want the spelling to be right. It's because I noticed the squiggly fucking line under the word. If they didn't put that shit there, I would never correct anything. I would just be wrong. Now, grammar, on the other hand, that I want to be right on. But spelling, I'm not reliable any longer.
All right.
What should I do for dinner?
Well, definitely won't turn to you when I have a phone a friend for a spelling question.
What are you going to be on? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Is it still going on? I hope so.
It was in syndication and shit for a while. I know that. I liked that show. I never understood the phone a friend part. It's just like, just bring the fucking person to the audience or something. We know that they're going to be there to answer the phone. Like, fucking, come on now. I guess you could probably, like, Skype it now. Or G-chat.
I think sometimes, though, the person wouldn't be there. Or, like,
wouldn't be available. Happened.
Like, on the phone, I think. So that's, I don't know.
I don't have like, anyone I would have called.
I think they might actually have gone through like your Rolodex. Like if you had the first guy wasn't available, then you had to go to a second guy.
I don't know.
But people should be available if they know you're on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Don't be a dick.
That show was the best.
It was. It had a moment.
I really like that other one with that really just unappealing woman as the host. She's like really deadpan.
Oh, The Weakest Link?
Yeah.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. That had a real fleeting moment. That one was gone fast.
I like that vibe of that show, though.
Because you like BDSM.
Yes. I definitely love eating chips into a microphone.
Let's see. Anything good in here?
Josh Anderson, can I change my name on here? Sorry, dumb question. Yeah, we don't control how you have your YouTube name set. That's on you, man. Talk to YouTube about that.
Alexander Gutsu is fading Cleveland. Is fading Cleveland a bad idea? For me, it's not a bad idea on a slate this big to fade anybody.
Man, I thought you were making up a name there. Giants lineup is out.
Rodon's actually not. I think Rodon's not as terrible of a pitcher as people assume just because he's on Chicago.
No, he's one of the few people in the White Sox staff that does have a pulse.
Yeah, does a pretty good job limiting hard contact. For the most part, not a terrible fly ball rate either. So, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind not having Cleveland, but Cleveland's obviously always a good play. Great hitters on that team.
Seriously, so what should I eat for dinner tonight?
Chick-fil-A.
Should I?
Or a shitload of pizza bites. No, I think Chick-fil-A would be an upgrade on a shitload of pizza bites, I think.
Pizza bites are my jam when the wife's out of town. I try not to bring that slop home so that I can't be shamed for it. All the evidence is gone normally. Yeah.
I mean, do you have food to cook?
Oh no, I'm going to grab something somewhere. I mean, in theory,
I
I could make some tacos or something. I've got like stuff.
just get Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, maybe.
So I am going to go get tacos and margaritas as soon as we're done here. Actually, no, I have to do work, and then I'm going to go get tacos and margaritas.
I would like to come join you for tacos. I'll be there in many hours.
The place that we're going to has it's happy hour, and they give you gigantic pitchers of like very strong margaritas, but they're also like a top chef restaurant for tacos. So it's a good mix, but fucking margaritas are death personified. So I'll be in a good spot.
I love margaritas. Salt or no salt?
Salt, always salt.
Ooh, never salt.
I like the option of having it there to break it up a little.
It ruins it for me. And I like salt on just about everything, but I don't like it in a margarita.
Shrimp or fish burrito? I'd probably go fish for burrito. Actually, no, I go fish for a taco, shrimp for a burrito.
I wouldn't want either of those in a burrito.
Yeah, asada is my favorite burrito type overall.
I want some sort of like pig or beef. Chicken is fine, but chicken doesn't taste like anything.
I've had a couple of really good fish burritos before, though, so yeah, I don't know. I don't mind seafood ones, but not my favorites.
I just remembered that I have to record fucking night shift tonight. That sucks.
Josh, Bang Burgers is what Alexander Gutsu wants you to eat. Is that a place?
I have no idea what that is.
I thought maybe there was like a chain in Wilmington. Go to Cookout. You have Cookout? I've never been to one of those, but I hear a lot of positive things.
We do have Cookout. It's not that good. Milkshakes are fun. The food's shit. But they've got like 50 different kinds of milkshakes. How do you know about Cookout?
Because I've heard it's like a social thing. I've heard it from like college-aged kids or kids who like went to like college in the South.
Yeah, there's one right next to the campus.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids go there and like hang out after drinking and stuff, and then might even be a little bit of a Cookout hookup culture a little.
Yeah, milkshakes are great, but the rest of the food is like wholly it's exactly what you would expect it to be. It's not high quality. It's not like you're getting like an In-N-Out burger or anything. It's shit food, but milkshakes are fun. You can get whatever. So like you can get Reese's peanut butter cups and all sorts of weird shit in it.
Okay, I like that. I like the options of milkshakes, but the social thing of Cookout seems fun. I've seen it on Instagram stories, and I'm like, oh, Cookout, you look like a great time. Five Guys is good.
Five Guys isn't worth it, though. I'd rather just make my own burgers.
How much are tacos in Pennsylvania? I don't know if you think so. We have somebody in Pennsylvania. Neither of us are in Pennsylvania.
I mean, I think tacos are pretty universally priced. This is a $47
There's some taco markup in some regions.
Yeah.
Go to Dos Caminos or something, like a chain that's like perceived as fancy. The tacos go up a little bit. But you're right. Not much different. Drunken Yardbirds from Qdoba are the best tacos. Full butt liquor.
I didn't know Qdoba was still a thing.
Apparently this Bang Bang Burger is an actual thing.
Is it just like Bang Bang Shrimp? Because that's gross.
No.
JJ Standing. No. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I live in North Carolina.
How much are hot dogs in Wyoming? It's a great question. Probably very affordable.
I think that's the way we get out of here. McCod wins with how much are hot dogs in Wyoming.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. Josh will have the night shift coming out, have a stream Sunday possibly. We'll be back next week with more streams, lots of content. Also, the NFL videos up, talking tight ends for way longer than any human beings to talk tight ends, because that's how much I give a damn about you tight ends. I care about you. So go check that out as well. Become a premium member. Get all of our ownership projections and rankings and stuff from the famous Awesome as last seen on the Adam Levitan podcast. So go join that. Parting words for the week, Josh.
No, best of luck. I'm going to give it my best shot on this night shift. I wish I didn't agree to doing it. I wish that there was a way that I could make it not the night shift and do something else, but I don't know. We'll see.
You should add some like fun jazzy music and just treat it like a classy gentleman drinking wine and discussing his MLB picks for the morning slate.
Part of my appeal, I think, is like having my shit in front of me. So I don't think I translate as well to purely audio.
your dulcet tones will translate just fine. Andrew Mock, sure, ask a question on Twitter. Maybe we'll even reply. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Best of luck, everybody. I'm out of here. I'm hungry.
Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.